Okay. I have a new layout. Oops, that's loud. There we go. I have a new layout. And I'm like, oh no, where's the button? We're doing great. Okay. Hello, welcome to the stream. My name is Artemis, and I do code stuff. I've been a software developer for 10-ish years. I say ish because the last 2 of those years I was technically an AppSec engineer. Okay, I have a problem with the term engineer because in Canada, where I am, in Canada, you're not supposed to call yourself an engineer unless you actually have an engineering degree, which I don't. I have a computer science degree, so I'm not a software engineer, I am a software developer. However, that's not a thing in the States. You can call yourself an engineer without an engineering degree, so it doesn't matter. And a lot of that just like leaks up here. So I was called an AppSec engineer, application security. I wasn't an engineer, I was a software developer. I was writing software in an application security space, is the thing. So I was doing that for like the last 2 years. So 10-ish years? I've been writing software for 10 years. Let's just go with that. I've been writing software for 10 years. And I suck at LeetCode. I'm learning through doing this exercise. I'm not good at these little programming problems. You want me to learn a new language and how to do microservice infrastructure? Services? Microservice architecture. There we go. Microservice architecture. Learn a new language and microservice architecture and make like a key piece of software that like the entire company is going to use. I can do that. I can absolutely do that. I've done that. You want me to determine if something's a palindrome? I'm much less good at that, I have learned. Anyway. So we're practicing. Also, it's just fun. It's fun to do little programming puzzles. I love solving puzzles. You know, it's just really, really satisfying. You go down the list and you get all the clues and you do the thing and you do the steps and then you solve the puzzle and it's just, it feels so good. You know, like that whole software development thing where it's like, I've solved the thing, I am a god! And then you spend half an hour wondering why this crap doesn't work because it turns out you forgot a semicolon. And then you feel not so smart. Yeah. Sorry, I'm talking like way louder than I was a minute ago when I did my sound check. Haha. Sorry if I've been blasting everybody's eardrums. So we've been doing, in my learning of the LeetCode, I'm also slowly learning all of the languages that are available to do LeetCode problems in. Let's flip screens here. There are a number of languages, and it is my goal to make it through... I don't need any of these. It is my goal to make it through all of these languages, eventually. You can see at the top of the screen, kinda here-ish. We've done so far Rust, C, C++, PHP, Go, Swift, and Kotlin. And of those... So I have full-on learned Rust, Swift, and Kotlin. And I've had the chance to brush up on my C, C++, PHP, and Go. Because chat is mean to me and doesn't let me choose languages that I actually know, because I know a number of these. The Pythons, the JavaScript, the TypeScript, the Ruby. I know these things. And chat is so mean to me. Exactly. Amber Dragon is so mean to me, making me learn languages that I don't know just makes solving these problems even harder. I mean, I could only give options, but like, I mean, where's the fun in that? How am I ever going to be forced to learn new languages if I make it easy on myself? Besides, chat has the option to be nice. You always have the option to be nice to me. And you're never nice to me. Never. How are you doing today? How is your hand after our gaming yesterday? Are you holding up all right? I'm just gonna set up my standing mat 1 second. Okay. Music quiet. Why music quiet? I need to go through this folder of music files that I've been given and either normalize the volume levels or just take out the quiet ones. I've been meaning to do that all month. Haven't done it. Maybe we should do that on the stream. Just make a new folder of my my stream music. Because I would like the music to be audible. But take out the bad songs? Yeah, basically. Just make a folder of the ones that are a good volume or a good vibe, because Mr. Dan has given me just the whole folder of all of the tracks he's ever recorded. For everybody else in chat, my husband does modular synth, and so all of the music on stream is from him, because guaranteed no copyright claims. Also free. But also, it's actually good. And it's good programming music. Like, legitimately. So, not mad about that. But some of the tracks are like, I don't know, some of his older stuff is like, it's not as good as the newer stuff, because he's been doing this for a couple of years now. And some of it's like really quiet compared to some other stuff, and some of it's more like almost dancey, and some of it's just ambient chill, and like, there's moods. There's moods for the different things. Your hand's not bad, not sore, which is a good sign. That is a very good sign. That is a very good sign indeed. And I'm gonna do the mwah 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 finger shake. You're remembering the wrist braces and finger taping and all that stuff as I finger shake with my own wrist brace. So there's your finger shake. Make sure you take care of the things so you don't hurt them further. Ooh, hang on. What's going on the phone? I may be going on a hike. Not today. I may be going on a hike next weekend. Hey, yeah, we're not doing anything on the 4th, right? Since you're here anyway. We're not doing... I've not forgotten anything. There's nothing in my calendar. In any of my calendars. Or any of my lists. So I think I'm free on the 4th to go for a hike. I think. I hope. First Saturday of the month, usually. Excellent. Oh yes, I have socials. Follow me on the socials if you want, or something. I don't know. I'm also trying out a new thing today. Trying out a couple of new things today. Yes, I know we're live on the first Sunday. That one I will always remember, because we've been doing that for a while now. First Saturday is usually free. What was I just saying? Oh, I was trying something new today. I'm trying out multi-streaming. So in theory, I'm also live on YouTube right now, in addition to Twitch, for better discoverability. Theoretically. But I don't see anything, so I don't know if it's actually working. I'm very confused. Anyway, it's working on Twitch, obviously, which is the important one. But in addition to that, I'm also playing with the advanced audio recording settings. So in theory, if I've set everything up correctly, the stream should be getting all of the audio, and the recording should only be getting my voice to make editing easier. What YouTube name? What did I call it? It's Artemis_134. I'm not seeing anything, so I don't know. Don't know that it's actually working. Alas. Alas. Hang on, as I check my settings. Multi-streaming, no wait. Come on. Where's the thing? And in the stream settings, here we go. Artemis should be... Artemis codes? Wait, have I connected like an incorrect... I don't think I've connected an incorrect YouTube channel. That would be silly, right? That would be extremely, extremely silly if I'd managed to connect an incorrect... Yeah, no, that's correct. I've called my YouTube channel... Chanimal? Wow. We're Chanimals now. Okay. Words are coming out of my face, and I don't even know what they are. In theory, it's linked. In theory, I'm streaming to both. That theory does not seem to be accurate, since I don't see it anywhere, but, you know, whatever. Whatever. Alright, let's start this poll. For our next programming language. What are the choices today? Let's see. I think I know Python. It's been a minute. I knew Java once upon a time. We haven't done Java yet. And I absolutely don't know Dart. Don't even know what that's for. Start poll. Oh, no, we're about to get an ad. Okay. Well, feel free to vote in the poll while the ad's running. For Python, which I guess is Python 2.7 as opposed to 2.3. As opposed to 3 point whatever. Sorry. Python 2.7 versus Python 3 point whatever. Because they changed some things about how the underlying stuff worked, but basically, practically speaking, that just means that the syntax is different a little bit. So I'm gonna say I know both of those, even though it might be a little rough. Nope, not live. That's annoying. It is annoying that I am apparently not live, because I was pretty sure. I was pretty sure. Oh well. Watch an anime with a snake in it before, so Python sounds good. I enjoy Python, A, because it's just nice to read. Do I get a countdown before the ads run? My timing is very off. I get a little notification, which I put now to be just a minute before the ads run instead of the 5 minutes before. So that's probably why it seems like... I also adjusted some ad settings, so like, I adjusted a bunch of small things today to see how things work. So we'll see. We'll see. But, so apparently multi-streaming doesn't work. I need to figure that out. I sincerely hope my recording of the various audio tracks separately is working, because that would be nice. And I hope that my notification to myself that my ads are going to run in 1 minute is also relatively accurate. I'm very much learning. But hey, in theory, with about 2 more streams, I will have made enough money to buy myself a cup of coffee. I was hoping for enough money to buy a fancy cup of coffee, but it's going to be enough money. I'm on track for enough money to buy a mediocre cup of coffee, which was my goal for October. I'm very excited about that. Oh, the podcast is now subscribed. Excellent. 10 subscribers. No ads yet. I don't know. I don't know anything, apparently. And there's McDonald's right down my street, so that's nice. I should probably not say things like there's McDonald's right down my street on the internet, hey? That's probably not good for, basic internet safety. That's okay. Pretty sure you're the only one in here. Whatever. There's a million McDonald's. So good luck figuring out which one's down the street and also how far down the street is. But yes, I should, in theory, after another couple of streams, have enough money for a McDonald's cup of coffee. And I'm excited about it, because that's goals. I will take myself for a celebratory cup of coffee with Twitch money. Like a real Twitch streamer. I'm a real live streamer. This is my job. I mean, I'll feel less weird about saying it's my job when it actually, pays some bills and doesn't just theoretically pay for cups of coffee. Everyone's free on Tuesday, so the Discord meeting is a go. Excellent. At our usual time, I assume? I mean, I have nothing going on that day anyway, but... Sounds good. How's the poll doing? 1 vote for Python? Yes, the usual time. Consistency and content, yeah. I'm working on editing highlights and stuff and shorter versions, because not everybody's got 3 hours to hang out and watch a live stream. Maybe people just want the highlights. Python it is. All right. Python. Where's my... I've got to organize my sources better. Somewhere on here is the... There we go. The languages used, which I now need to update with Python. This is going to get difficult when my list of languages no longer fits on the screen. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So, today's problem the first. Given 2 strings... Wait, we're finding the index of the first occurrence in a string. So given the 2 strings needle and haystack, return the index of the first occurrence of needle in haystack, or -1 if needle is not part of haystack. I just had this ridiculous thought about what might have happened with the YouTube, and now that I've had this thought, I need to find out. No, okay. I had this moment of panic of wait, did I just accidentally start streaming to the podcast one? I did not. I did not accidentally also start streaming to the podcast. That would have been awkward. Now I've lost my tab. There we go. Everything's good. Okay. We're finding the index of the first occurrence in a string. I totally would have done that. It's always the fear, right? When you have so many different accounts for so many different things, like making sure you put the right content on the right account. That's, yeah. It's tricky. Okay, so given two strings needle and haystack, return the index of the first occurrence of needle in haystack. Or -1 if needle is not part of haystack. Okay. So look for the smaller string in the bigger string. And return the first occurrence of it. Okay, and if it's not found, we return -1. Okay, we've got haystack, we've got needle. I mean, I'm quite certain Python has a thing for this. I'm pretty sure I can just be like haystack.find needle. Index equals haystack.find needle, and then just like return index. But I don't think that's quite the right syntax. Okay, maybe that was the right syntax. Okay, okay. So, is that correct for everything? Did I just get it in 2 lines? Yes, I did! Awesome! I love when I know programming languages. They go so fast. Oh, wow. How's the music volume, by the way? I feel like the track just got louder. Now, can we make this better is the question. Because my runtime's kinda bad. Is it too loud? Do I need to make it quieter? Memory usage is also kind of bad. What if there's a faster way of doing it? Lower. See, this is one of the tracks where I need to filter. I need to filter it so because it's too loud. I need to normalize all the volumes of these tracks. How would I make this faster? I'm curious. What have other people done? Okay, what does yours look like? Oh, you full on made a video. Oh my god. Okay, so what did they do to make it so fast? Improves the brute force algorithm and consists of 2 parts. The first part is the pre-processing step where we find the length of the longest proper prefix that is also a suffix for every prefix in needle. What? Where we find the length of the longest proper prefix that is also a suffix. Okay, nope. Reading it again did not make that any clearer. The second part is the main algorithm where we compare needle and haystack letter by letter. If the 2 characters match, we move both pointers up and see how far we can keep going. If they don't match, then we use the array created in the pre-processing step to determine how far up to how far to move up needle to compare the next characters. For a detailed explanation, please there's very without visuals. Oh my god. The idea is that when traversing needle and hitting a mismatch, we know that any proper prefixes that are also a suffix will overlap. That's not explaining things very well. Okay, so this is making an array that is the same length as needle. An array of zeros that are the same length as needle. I'm pretty sure. So then we go through needle, and while pre is greater 0 and needle... So the thing at the current index does not equal the thing at the previous index. Guess that's not going to happen the first time. So if the previous thing equals the current thing, increase... So move up the previous pointer, and copy the thing... No, copy the index into this array that we made up here. For a reason. And then while pre is greater than 0 and the current thing does not equal the previous thing, move the pointer back one? I've got to watch this video. I don't understand what's going on here. Hang on. Hang on. We're going to pause this music. I'm going to enable desktop audio.
In this video, we'll go over LeetCode question number 20.
That's loud, sorry.
Find the index of the first occurrence in a string. Given two strings, needle and haystack, we need to return the index of the first occurrence of needle in haystack, or return -1 if needle is not a part of haystack. For example, let's say haystack is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and needle is C, D, E. Then you can see that the first occurrence of C, D, E in A, B, C, D, E, F, G is here, which starts at index 2. So we return 2. Now, as a disclaimer, it's actually very easy to do this using built-in libraries and methods. For example, in Python, you could just say return haystack.find needle, and that would work.
Yeah.
But that's not going to impress any interviewer. What the question is really asking you is, if you were to implement this find method, how would you do it? So the brute force solution would look something like this. We'd line up the two strings and compare them letter by letter. The first letters, A and C, don't match. So we'd move up the needle one character and compare it with the second letter of the haystack.
Okay, this is making more sense.
Move the needle up again, and now we have a match. Since they matched, we now advance to the next letter of the needle, and we have another. So now let's move up to the last letter, and now we see that we found the location of the needle in the haystack. Now, this approach works, but let me show you the problem with this. So let's use a more complicated example. Again, the top string is the haystack, and the bottom string is the needle. First, we'd compare the first characters of each string, and it's a match. So now let's compare the second characters. It's a match, and the third characters match as well, and so do the fourth. But on the fifth character, we have a mismatch. And because of this, we have to start over and move the needle up one character. And now we have to go all the way back and compare the first character.
And that's not very efficient.
The second character of the haystack.
So you can move needle all the way up.
We made it all the way up to the fifth character, but once we hit a mismatch, we had to go all the way back to where we started and move up only one character at a time. So next, we'd see that B and A are a mismatch, so we'd move the needle up one. This is another mismatch, and now we've got a match. However, the second characters don't match.
Okay.
Up again,
So this is...
and now we're finally back to where we left off. I'll stop here, but the point is, that's a lot of wasted computation. In the worst case, for every character in the haystack, we would make it almost to the end of the needle, but hit a mismatch at the very end. And then we'd have to go all the way back and do the same thing again for the next character.
Right,
In other
okay.
words, we would have to loop
So it's the
through
smart way then.
every character in the haystack. So this algorithm runs in O of m times n time, if the length of the needle is m and the length of the haystack is n.
That's big O notation. Oh, thanks for the follow. I apparently still don't have functional sound alerts, but hey, that's okay. I have anonymous follows, so if you don't want to be known, that's fine, but if you would like a shout out, make yourself known in chat. Otherwise, thanks for lurking and hanging out. I appreciate you. So, this is big O notation. Not this. That's an ad. Big O notation is a way of communicating the runtime of an algorithm. So in math you might remember like a function of stuff. So it's like f of brackets stuff. So this is saying big O of brackets stuff. And the stuff in the brackets describes how long this could theoretically take. We're not looking to get an actual number here. It's just we're looking for like orders of magnitude, like this thing will be so many orders of this algorithm will be so many orders of magnitude faster or slower than this other algorithm. That's what we're looking to compare here. So this is saying that this algorithm will take, the amount of time this algorithm will take is m times n, where m is the length of the first string and n is the length of the second string. So if it's, 10 characters times 5 characters, the string or the algorithm will take like 50 seconds to run if you were to plug in actual numbers. But again, we're not looking to plug in actual numbers and get an actual runtime because the actual runtime is so dependent on architecture and like what the actual hardware is doing at the time. But in terms of order of magnitude, m times n is not great.
There's a few algorithms that can optimize this, but the one that I'll be going over is the KMP algorithm. Let me start with a demonstration of how it works. So KMP starts the same way by comparing the first characters, and if there's a match, then we move up, and we'll keep going until we hit a mismatch. At this point, instead of going back to where we started, we ask ourselves, well, since we know that the first 4 characters matched, out of this substring, are there any letters that appear at both the front and back of the substring? In other words, we are asking, does this substring have a prefix that is also a suffix? In this case, the answer is yes. The letter A appears both at the front and the end of the substring. It is both a prefix and a suffix. And so because we know that the needle starts with the letter A, we can actually skip the next 2 characters and move up the needle all the way up to here, so that the A's overlap and we can resume our search. Notice that we didn't have to move the arrow back at all, because since we already know that the A's match, we can continue our search in the next
okay, so we're looking for a substring in needle that's like, we're looking for the set of characters at the front of needle that matches a substring of characters from the end of the things we were comparing to before. That's the prefix that's also a suffix. The prefix of needle that was the suffix of the set of characters we were comparing to in haystack. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay.
So now we compare A and B, which is a mismatch. So the only thing we can do here is just move the needle up by 1 character and start again. The A's match again, then the B's, and then the C's, but now we hit another mismatch. So let's ask ourselves again. Out of the portion that did match, do any of the characters at the front overlap with the characters at the back?
So do any of the characters at the front overlap with any of the characters at the back? And given that we have ABC compared to ABCE, there's no prefix here that's a suffix in the set of things that we've compared to. So that answer is no.
This time, we can see that none of them do. So since
there we go.
No prefix overlaps with any suffix, we can actually just skip that entire portion and move the needle all the way up here. Here we have another mismatch, so we'll just move the needle up again. Then we start getting matches again, and we almost make it to the end, but we get a mismatch on the last character. So again, we'll ask, are there any prefixes that are also a suffix? And the answer is yes.
Yes, because ABC here will match ABC here. Or I guess AB here matches AB here.
Time, AD,
yes, there we go.
The end. So again, we'll move up the
I'm starting to understand it.
B's line up. And remember, since we know that those two characters match up, we don't need to move the needle back, and we can just pick up where we left off. Now let's finish this up. The C's match, A's match, B's match, and
thanks for the follow.
Match, and we found the needle in the haystack. Now, since we never had to move the arrow backwards, we only traversed the haystack once. Now, we did have to traverse the needle more than once, but again, since both the arrow and the needle never moved backwards, if the length of the haystack is n, then traversing the needle added no more than n steps. This means, in the worst case, there would be a total of 2n steps, which means that this algorithm runs in O of n time.
That is, okay, so it was saying that, hang on, let me rewind that a bit.
We traversed the needle more than once, but again, since both the arrow and the needle never moved backwards, if the length of the haystack is n, then traversing the needle added no more than n steps. This means...
So because things never move backwards, we're never processing haystack more than once. So if haystack is length n, we're never doing more than n steps, is what it's saying. So even if we have to go through needle a whole bunch of times, we're never moving backwards in haystack. So it's n steps.
Means in the worst case, there would be a total of 2n steps, which means that
worst case algorithmic notation, I think, is big omega. Big O notation is the average runtime, right? Somebody in chat correct me if I'm misremembering this, because it's been a minute. Big O is the average runtime. Omega is the best case runtime. That's the O with a line through it, I think. And then there was... No. I'm saying words wrong. Hang on. There's also best case and worst case notation. So if everything lines up perfectly and you only have to, like, the absolute best case, how fast could this run? And then there's also notation for the worst case. If everything goes wrong, what is the absolute maximum, like, maximum worst case runtime? And I think it's Omicron and Omega? And I don't remember which is which. One's the O with the line in it, and the other one's the, like, kind of horseshoe shape, where it's like, joo, joo, joo. And I don't remember which is which, because they don't get used nearly as often. We mostly just talk about Big O. Other thing about Big O is if, in this instance, if we end up running through everything twice, or if you end up with a number, like an actual hard number in your O of n, you can just drop that, because that's a constant runtime, and that... Sorry, this squirrel's being very noisy outside. You can... I'm trying to say you can drop numbers in Big O notation, because they're not important in the grand scheme of things. Like a 2 does not affect a runtime in any significant way. I explained that poorly, I'm sorry.
Now, there's one other question that we haven't answered yet, which is, how would we know how far to move up the needle? To answer that, we need to introduce the concept of the longest proper prefix that is also a suffix, which I'll call LPS from now on.
Oh, that's what that stands for. Longest proper prefix that is also a suffix, LPS. That makes so much more sense. Noisy people, my goodness.
Proper prefix is just like a prefix, but it excludes the entire word itself. So, for example, if the word is ABCAB, then the proper prefixes are A, AB, ABC, and ABCA, but not ABCAB, since that's the entire word. And the
Okay.
suffixes, starting from the back, would be B, AB, CAB, BCAB, and ABCAB. So you can see that the longest proper prefix that is also a suffix is AB, because it appears at both the beginning and the end of the word. So as part of the
Oh.
EMP algorithm, we would first need to find the length of the LPS of every possible prefix of the needle and store that in an array. So for example, if this was the needle that we were trying to find, then we'd start by looking at just the first letter A. The length of the LPS of the first letter by itself is always 0, because a proper prefix cannot be the entire word. Now let's look at AB. Still no LPS, so it's also 0. And it's the same case with ABC. Now, what about ABCA? The letter A is the LPS, so we'd record a 1 here to indicate that the LPS is 1 character long. And finally, looking at the entire word, the LPS is AB, so we'd record a 2 here. Now, during the main algorithm, as we traverse the needle...
Hang on. I did not follow that. Let's just wind that back a second. I'm learning so much today, chat.
...of the first letter by itself is always 0, because a proper prefix cannot be the entire word. Now let's look...
I'm confused by this. A proper prefix cannot be in the entire word, but then what's this down here? It says A. Like, it lists A as a proper prefix. I'm a little confused by that.
Look at AB. Still no LPS, so it's also 0. And it's the same case with ABC. Now, what about ABCA? The letter A is the LPS, so we'd record a 1 here to indicate that the LPS is 1 character long. And finally, looking at the entire word, the LPS is AB, so we'd record a 2 here. Now, during the main algorithm, as we traverse the needle, this array can tell us exactly how many characters overlap at the front and the back of each step of traversing the needle. Now,
maybe this becomes more clear later on, but I don't quite comprehend this. So I think what's going on is we're comparing, well, A, okay, so A to itself is nothing, so 0. B can also, I don't know. I think it's saying we're traversing the string until we get a match. You're likely doing better than I am. As colorwork chart creating, counting while this math goes on. Yeah, I'm sure talking about ABC and numbers is really helping you. So I think this is saying we traverse the string basically until we get a character that matches at the beginning. So it gets a 1. And then if the next character matches the next character at the beginning, then it gets a 2. And then I guess if there was also a C on the end of here, then it would get a 3. Oh, thank you, Streamlabs. I have socials. You can follow me on them if you want. That's a thing you can do. I post on rare occasions. Also, there's a Discord. I have a Discord. I post in there on occasion, too.
There's one last thing I need to go over before we go into the code, and that is that we also need an efficient algorithm to create this LPS array as well. So here's how we're going to do it. The length of the LPS of just a single letter is always 0. So we'll start by looking at the first 2 letters, AB, and we'll also create 2 pointers, one at the beginning of the prefix that we're looking at, and one at the end. Then we'll compare the 2 characters. Since they're different, we know that the LPS is still 0. Then we'll compare the third letter with the first letter, and the A's match. So we'll record a 1 here, and move both pointers up to see if we can keep going. The next characters don't match though, so we end our streak and just record a 0, and move the orange pointer back to the beginning to start again. However, it
Okay.
turns out that we don't actually need to move the orange pointer all the way back to the beginning each time, and I'll show you what I mean. So now we'd compare the A's, which match, so we'll record a 1 and move both pointers. B's match, so we'll write 2 and move both up again. A's match again, so now we're at 3. Now we have a mismatch, but we shouldn't just blindly move the orange pointer back to the beginning. Instead, notice that the part of the word that we scan with the orange pointer and the part of the word that we scan with the purple pointer are the same. So now let's ask, what is the length of the LPS of just ABA? And we can find that answer by looking one index before the orange pointer, which shows that we already calculated that as 1. In other words, this tells us that the first and last A's overlap, so we can just move the orange pointer to the second character and begin the comparisons from there.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't know what it is about pointer math, but my brain does not follow it. We're gonna rewind this a second. I'm going to understand this, I swear.
Move both pointers. B's match, so we'll write 2 and move both up again. A's match again, so now we're at 3. Now we have a mismatch, but we shouldn't just blindly move the orange pointer back to the beginning. Instead, notice that the part of the word that we scan with the orange pointer and the part of the word that we scan with the purple pointer are the same.
Okay, yes.
So now let's
yes, they're the same. I have noticed this.
ask, what is the length of the LPS of just ABA? And we can find that answer by looking one index before the orange pointer, which
Hang on.
purple pointer
What?
are the same.
I need extra words here. Okay, and the part of the word that we scanned with the purple pointer.
So now let's ask, what is the length of the LPS of just ABA?
Okay, what is the length of the LPS? The largest prefix that's also a suffix of ABA. Okay. So what is the length of the LPS of the set of characters we just looked at? Which of course is going to be 1 before the slot we're looking at because that's the last point where it matched.
And we can find that answer by looking one index before the orange pointer, which shows
Okay.
that we already calculated that as 1. In other words, this tells us that the first and last A's overlap, so we can just
Okay, yes. The first and last A's overlap.
move the orange pointer to the second character and begin the comparisons from there. Here, we see that the B's match, and since we already know that one character matched from before, we'd write 2 here. We'll be using something similar to this strategy for the main algorithm as well. If the length of the needle is m, then this part ends up being O of m. So that makes the entire algorithm O of m plus n. But since we know that m is less than n, it's also correct to say that the algorithm is just O of n. Now we're ready.
So it's saying that the algorithm will run, the time that the algorithm will run in is the length of the haystack string plus the length of the needle string. But in that case, you can just drop the smaller number, I guess. It's been a while since I've done big O notation.
Ready to look at the code and do this in Python.
Ooh. Nope, I don't want you to give me the answer here. I want to work this out for myself. Woo! No, I don't want that. Okay. Oh my god, no, I don't want to click on that. Okay. So I'm going to try to do this without looking at the answer. Okay. So to start, we need to find the LPS of needle. And to do that, I definitely explained that big O part wrong. Oh well. Don't listen to me. Okay. So we need 2 pointers here. I'm gonna cheat slightly and just grab this. I'm gonna grab that one line. Okay. So that's the array, and we're just setting it all to zeros. So we have an array of where every slot is 0 for the length that the string needle is. So then naming things hurts my brain. I'm gonna call these orange and purple because I don't know what else to call them. Referencing the color of the pointer in the video. So there's the orange pointer starting at 0, and there's the purple pointer also starting at 0. And I guess actually for what we can do is for I in range, length, needle. Which is actually going to be our purple pointer. So we don't need that. Should I make Miss L her colorwork sweater the moonbeam sweater in dark red background and gray colorwork? She's only 3, so a wild pattern sweater of moonbeams. Absolutely. She's 3, go for the brightest, highest contrast you can. 'Cause soon she'll be old enough to have opinions. Well, I guess 3 is old enough to have opinions, but generally the 3-year-old opinion is brighter, more colors, more is more. So more is more. Add sparkles if you can. This coding stuff is starting to make sense. I'm worried about how much time I spend here with you. I'm going to take that to mean that I'm so good at explaining things, and you're just picking it up really quickly. That's definitely how that's working, right? It is my goal to get better at explaining things. So if anybody in chat has questions, or you think I explained something badly and you want me to do it again, let me know. And I will happily try to explain it better or different, or, you know, I'm trying to improve. I'm here to improve. Okay, so this is a purple pointer. And then we're comparing the two things. So if needle I equals needle orange. Oops, wrong brackets. How? I don't know what I pushed, but I managed to open DevTools. That's not what I meant to do. Orange. Also, how's this text size? I feel like this is really tiny. I can try to make it bigger. I don't know if that's okay to premium to use autocomplete. Oh, settings, here we go. Code editor. Font size! Let's make it 21. And then I can put my zoom back to where it was. Ooh, that's too big. That's too big. I'm gonna run out of space for all this code. Hang on. Let's try 18. That feels better. Okay. Colon. Okay, so if the things are equal, then LPS at index should equal hang on. Hang on a minute. Because we can't, there's no point in starting at the first letter, because the first letter is not also a suffix. I think I actually want both of these to start at 1. Hold up. I need to see these visuals again. Okay, I do want this to start at 1. And I don't remember what the syntax for range is. Python range. Okay. Yes, range. Start, stop, step. I want it to start at 1. And I want it to stop at the length needle. The length of needle minus 1, I think. Okay. Okay, wait, so what's going on here? We compare. Since they are different. Yes. Oops. These need to be square brackets, because square brackets is for array access. Round brackets are for functions or methods. So trying to call... With this being round brackets, that was saying I was trying to call the method needle with the parameter orange. But with square brackets, this is saying I'm accessing the array needle with the index orange. Orange here representing the orange pointer in the video. Which is not a good name for it, but it's what's making sense in my head right now. So needle I equals... Okay, hang on. We're gonna do does not equals first, because that makes more sense in my head. Then we're storing the value. If they don't equal, then we're storing the value of 0. Else, if they do match... So why do you have an extra space here? That's very annoying. Else, if they do match, then... I want to store the number Do I need a counter here? That doesn't seem right. How are you doing this? This isn't... Okay, I got the range part right. If they're equal... Okay. Hang on. There is no else case. We're saying... This is saying, ow, don't mind me as I kick my desk chair. So this is saying that orange, which is pre, okay, so we compare the two things. If we compare the two letters and they're the same, then we need to increase the orange pointer and store that value at this index in our LPS array, which is this one that has it's full of zeros right now. Okay. So what is this bit doing? I'm determined to understand this algorithm. I can't just, like, take the easy win, can I? I get a language I know and I can just do it in 2 lines, but no, I gotta make it more complicated. Gotta actually learn something. So this is saying, while our orange pointer is greater than 0, so while it's up in the string somewhere, and the two letters we're comparing are not the same, then we can move our orange pointer to the index that's stored in the LPS one before what we're looking at, which is the part back here which was this part. Saying that things overlap. Saying that things overlap so we can move the orange pointer back to index 1, which is over here. Pre greater than 0, because if, oops, not pre, orange in this case. So while orange, because if orange is pointing to the first thing, then we're just trying to move along the array until we actually got something interesting to do. And this is our case where things are not equal. So this is saying the thing at needle is not equal yes, this was the case that I was trying to do in the else before. This is saying that we can move orange back to This is saying we can move orange back to the index that's stored in the LPS array one before this slot. I cannot explain that any clearer than this video because I only just barely grasping at straws understand this video. So we found at the end of this, we've got the longest prefix that is also a suffix. But how do we have that? We have that because what we have in LPS is a bunch of zeros and then like at some point a 1, 2, 3 or whatever, indicating that there's a substring here that is useful to us. We compare needle and haystack letter by letter. If two characters match, we move both pointers up. If they don't match, then we use the array created in the pre-processing step to determine how far up to move needle. Okay, find first occurrence of needle in haystack. Let's move this over a little bit. We can see the code a little better. How about that? So for J in the range of the length of haystack, right? I think. Yeah, we're gonna go through haystack one by one. So we're doing this part that was at the beginning of the video now. So the characters don't match, so we move up. Okay. And then we'll compare for n in range length of haystack. No, not haystack, needle. Needle. Okay. So n is the index for going through needle, and I'm gonna make this actually h. It's gonna be the index for going through haystack. So if the two characters match, keep going. Wait a minute. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. What? Okay. Okay, so they did, okay, for H and range, the length of haystack, yes, that we did that too. But they have a separate needle index. Okay, they have a separate needle index, so we're comparing okay. If they're equal, then I just want to move them both up. But if they're not equal, it's saying use our array to determine how far we can move up needle. Yeah. What's this saying? Well, needle's greater than 0. Okay, I'm gonna come back to that case. Okay, so the first case is if needle, the index equals haystack at h. Then we want to increase needle. And because we're in a loop, the, not needle, n. Increase n, and because we're in a loop, h is going to increment by 1 every time. We have this other case. What is this other case? If n... Oh, if we've hit the end of needle. So if n is equivalent to the length of needle, we've got to the end of needle and we have a match. So we can return our result, which is going to be the index. We want the index of the first occurrence. So the index of the first letter of... The index in haystack. So the index in haystack. Except now we're a needle number of characters along. So we want to minus the n index. And plus 1 because 0 indexing, I think. Let's give, I don't remember if the problem gave a limitation, like needle was going to be at least so many characters. And then, of course, if we make it all the way through and don't find anything, we can return -1. But in theory, we should hit this return and return that index. So it's just this part that I don't fully grasp. So while we're already looking through needle, and the characters have stopped matching, then we want to move the needle index to the index that we've stored in our LPS array at the previous... it's like... It's like this line up here, where we can move our index based on the index in the previous slot. So it's very, very much like this. Except we're except this is needle, and this is haystack at h. N is the index stored in the previous slot. All right, if I'm being totally honest, I don't think I could reproduce this without this YouTube video. But I think it generally makes sense. Ah yes, the saying haystack and needle is at least 1 character long. Did I not submit that? Yes, there we go. What? My runtime's not any better. Well, that's really annoying. I thought my runtime would be better. Oh, I don't want to, like, do that. I don't want to submit an... Wait. Okay. So this one, my first submission ran in 20 milliseconds. And my second one ran in 15 milliseconds, which is closer. I moved up. Good enough. I learned some things. I'm gonna call it a win. That's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna call it a win. Alright, grab a new problem. And now I've done Python. So it's time for a new poll. New poll to select a new language. I've got, let's see, throw in a Java, throw in a JavaScript, and throw in a Dart. Java, which I have not touched since first year university. JavaScript, which I use quite a lot. And Dart, which I don't even know what it's for. So many notifications on my phone, and just absolutely none of them are important. It's very annoying. Oh, I think it's time to sit. I think. Oh. Stretch. Oh, this feels so good, Chad. Crouching. Crouching is glorious. Okay. Mute myself while my noisy desk moves around. There we go. Sitting is glorious. You're the only voter today? I think you might be. You get to dictate whether I have to learn new stuff or not. You have all the power. How does it feel to have all of the power? Not gonna lie, it feels good. Ugh. Oh, of course you're gonna make me use Dart. Somebody else in chat save me from having to learn Dart. Please. Somebody in chat save me. Otherwise I have to learn Dart and I don't even know what it's for. Dart programming language. Let's at least find out what it's for. Paint your UI to life. Oh, okay. Client optimized language for fast apps. Supported by Google. Free and open source. Optimized for UI. Okay. So it's like a web framework? Mature and complete async await for user interface containing event-driven code paired with isolate-based concurrency? What does that mean? Dart supports concurrent programming with async await, isolates, and classes such as future and stream. Within an app, all Dart code runs in an isolate. Each Dart isolate has a single thread of execution and shares excuse me. Shares no mutable objects with other isolates. Okay, so I guess it runs in isolation? I think that's what it's telling me. I'm making the look of snow falling for colorwork mittens, so I feel no shame in making you learn. Imagine... No, wait. Having not random, but random looking snow effects is not fun. You could use Fibonacci sequence things for density of snow. I don't know how exactly that would apply, but you could have, like... I don't know. The look of snow falling for colorwork mittens. Like 1 snowflake per so many per unit of stitches, and then for the next chunk you could have that was a 1 1 2 3 5 8 13 21, basically increasing the density of snowflakes. Or like you do a snowflake and then 1 stitch and then a snowflake and then 2 stitches and a snowflake, and then like you adjust the spacing. Pretty much with variable space between each row of falling snow. I'm sure that it's a very visual thing that you can explain to me tomorrow when we're streaming on a different platform. I will inquire about your snowflakes tomorrow when I can see them. Alright, we are learning about Dart today. Fine. Let's learn Dart. Don't I sound so excited? Snowflakes don't line up, or at least they shouldn't. Depends on the look you're going for, I suppose. I feel like in a knit sweater, your snowflakes can line up and that's fine. Because sweaters kind of happen on a grid. But it would also look good if they don't line up. So dealer's choice, I guess. But if they do line up, it's also fine. It's totally fine, I think. To communicate with each other, isolates use message passing. Dart apps. Many Dart apps only use 1 isolate, the main isolate. You can create additional isolates to enable parallel code execution on multiple processor cores. Okay. I suspect I don't need to get that fancy with it. Language cheat sheet. Excellent. I might want that. Switch out Dart. What is our problem today? Search insert position. That doesn't sound thrilling. Given a sorted array of distinct integers and a target value, sorted array of distinct integers and a target value, return the index if the target is found. If not, return the index where it would be if it were inserted in order. You must write an algorithm with O log n runtime complexity. I think I know how to do this. This sounds like a binary search algorithm, is what I think. So if you've got 1, 3, 5, 6 and your target is 5, then you should return 0, 1, 2 second index. If you're looking for 2 in the same array, then it would be at index 1. It's not at index 1, but it would be. And this would be at index 4. Okay. So our numbers array is going to be at least 1. The number we're looking for is large. Nums contains distinct values sorted in ascending order. So we won't repeat any numbers and they're already sorted. And the number we're looking for, okay. Our numbers can be negative very big to positive very big. I've got an integer list of numbers and an int target, and it's going to return an int. It fills me with a little bit of joy that a lot of programming languages are similar enough that despite the fact that I have never looked at Dart before today, I can kind of already read it, and it's really just the subtleties of the language that I don't know. That makes me happy. So I guess we're doing a binary search. Been out with friends and had a few beers. I'm a bit tipsy. Well, you'll be delighted to know that Amber Dragon has made me learn Dart, which is a language that I have never looked at before today. So I'll throw some darts at the wall or something. There's got to be a joke in there. We just spent an hour and a half. I got to use Python for the last problem and I did it in 2 lines, but then I'm like, nah, that's too easy. So then we spent the next like 90 minutes learning about KMP algorithms. And it was a good time. You have to stop giving me be mean options? No, I will never stop giving you be mean options. Because that's part of the fun. I want everyone to have fun. And being mean to me, if being mean to me is a source of your fun, then far be it for me to take that away from you. Okay, so binary search, which is what we want here. We're trying to find the index of a number. It's already sorted. So binary search, we basically cut it in half. I guess we like find the middle and then, yeah. So pick the middleist index, whoops, and compare the values. Then if it's smaller, we'll pick the middle of the first half, or if it's bigger, we'll pick the middle of the second half. And basically we just keep finding the middle index of the appropriate remaining half until we've either determined that until we've either found the number, in which case return that index, Or we have not found the number, in which case, depending on the value that's in that index, we either return, I guess, that index or one bigger, one smaller. I might have played nice if you finished reading the cowl pattern yesterday. I'm sorry. You've been too busy making the pattern live to be mean. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can read it tonight. Noisy music? Okay. Why am I so hungry? It's like, it's not time for dinner. And I ate food at a perfectly normal time, and I'm really hungry. So... I guess we'll start with int index equals nums dot, I don't know if it'll be dot length or what, I'll figure that out momentarily, divided by 2. Make this an int. Or will it magically be an int? I don't know. String interpolation. Oof. I don't know if this is helpful to me. What is arrow syntax? Define a function that executes the expression to its right and returns a value. Don't want that. Okay, that's all too complicated. I need something literally more basic. You want cake? I have cake. You should be jealous of my cake. My cheap eat it tonight grocery store cake. That's actually quite dry now. But it was cheap, and there's cake. I ate a sandwich with melted cheese. I needed something to level out the alcohol. Grilled cheese sandwich when you're a little bit drunk. It's really good. Ooh. Oh, what's it called? Oh my... The word has gone completely out of my head, but it was like... stuff on rice? Stuff on French fries. I was in Manchester. We were all quite drunk. And there was this place that was still open at 2 a.m. And it was like Middle Eastern food. Kebabs, I think. I think that's what it was called, which in North America, like a kebab is like stuff on a stick that you like barbecue. But this was kebabs, and it was stuff on French fries, I think. Like shawarma meat on French fries. And that was so good. So good. That might be the pinnacle of drunk food for me. Okay, creating a variable. I can give it a type, that's fine, but I don't necessarily need to. Uninitialized value variables that have a nullable type have an initial value of null. Even variables with numeric types are initially null because everything's an object. With null safety, must initialize. Okay, so wait. So I should do this as int. Types, new, patterns, new, control flow class is not a class modifiers concern. I don't know. Keywords? Oh, so many things. Okay. Patterns, overview, and usage. Matching, okay. Variable declaration. Fancy, variable assignment. Neat that you can do AB equals stuff. Ah, print, here we go. I want to print index because I want to know if you're going to be an int or if I need to make you an int with like a math.floor or something. Oh, and we have semicolons. Back to the semicolons. So good. Late night food on my way home when I was younger. Yeah. Ground beef cooked and put on top of potatoes and melted cheese on top. Yes. That, I mean, basically, yeah. Meat and cheese on potatoes. Ooh, kebabs on pita bread. Grilled cheese sandwich is about the level of cooking I wanted today. Honestly, you're really making me want a grilled cheese sandwich right now. How, oh yes, okay, how do I get an array, a list? I want to know about lists and how I get the length of a list. Dart length of a list. I spelled length wrong, that's fine. It's dot length. Literally, that's it. It's just not that. Come on. Okay. So this is telling me that doing this division is resulting in like something or other point, like a decimal number. And I need to make that into an integer, i.e. a whole number, so that I can store that in my integer called index. Dart round number? How do I round a number? Dot round. Well, that's easy. Alright, fine. I can make you... I want like... Let's just make you 0 right now, it's fine. So then... and I'm gonna want a... Here we go. halfway is going to be nums dot length divided by 2. And index is going to be halfway dot round. Run, I said. Oh, what? Oh, I can't spell. That's what. A non-null value must be returned since the return type int doesn't allow null. Is that... Okay, can I print halfway? And just for getting this to work, I'm going to return 0. Just so it stops complaining and actually runs the code. Okay. Okay. So halfway is 2.0. It's fine. So that should still run. Yeah, okay. And then it should print and be perfectly happy about it. I expect it to print a 2. Okay, there we go. Hate charting snow. Have a good sleep. See you tomorrow. Okay, we even got a case right. Look at that. Okay. Okay. Now that I've got that generally working, what I want is while the thing at index does not equal target. It's probably like that. And I'm probably supposed to put this in round brackets. Okay. So the thing at, okay, we pick an index that's halfway in between. So then if nums index is greater than target, index will become nums, no. Hang on. I'm going to write this the other way. Target is, well, it's not equal. So if target is less than nums index, then our new range and actually, can I do that? There was something about dart rocket, something like that. No, rocket arrow notation, something like that. Here we go. It means functions that contain just one expression. You can use shorthand syntax, shorthand for return expression, arrow syntax. Can't put an if statement in the char, so instead of saying return x plus y, so return that. I feel like that's absolutely not going to work. There's something to make that shorter, I'm sure. That's for defining functions, actually. So never mind, never mind. You know what? I'm gonna make a little function over here. That takes a min index and a max index. Oops. Which are integers. Int. And you're going to do this stuff. You're going to is max index minus min index is min index divided by 2. And then we return halfway dot round. So then we can say that our index is just our halfway function. We don't need that. We don't need this right now. We are going to need min index. It's going to be 0. And int max index is going to be nums dot length -1. We can throw in min index, max index, and okay, where are we at? So we want to keep splitting things in half when the value is not equal. But also we can't if we get to a situation where min index and max index are now the same thing, like we've met in the middle, then we're also done. While min index does not equal max index, not or, and so while our min index and our max index are not the same, and index does not equal target, because at the end of this we're going to return index. So if target is less than nums index, then our max index becomes index. And then we choose our new index. Else target is greater, in which case min index is index. And we update index. I think maybe. Don't know if my syntax is correct here. My halfway function is broken. If the range is 5 to 10, you want 7. But it will return 5 or 2's 2. I mean, does it matter? Wait. I want, well, because I want halfway, right. Okay, yes. I see. Oh, and missing semicolons! Ugh. Yes, because I want halfway between max index and min index. You're right. I want the halfway point between the two things, which I guess will be min index plus whatever this is. Yeah. Min index plus all that. The average, oh my god, yes, that's smarter, isn't it? That would be smarter. I knew I was doing this a dumb way. Dart average. Dart lang average. Goodness. No, this is too complicated. I don't want darts like throwing darts. I want Dart the programming language. So the types and type check wise operators. Fine. This is saying wow, mathematical averages. It's thing plus thing divided by 2, right? That's the average? Right? Because there's two things. It's the sum of the things divided by the number of things. Maybe? Try removing plus. Yeah, I'll remove your plus. The sum of the things divided by the number of things. Time limit exceeded. Rude. Alright, well, I'm going to add a print index in here while I'm at it. Oh, jeez. There's no end condition. There's no end condition, doofus. Nope, that's still not it. Better end condition. Better end condition is okay, so you've got 4 things here coming out to be 2 things. So I'm comparing to this number. 2 is less than 5. So max index then becomes 2. Two plus 0 is 2, divided by 2 is 1. So then I should be comparing 2 to this. 2 is still less than that. So max index becomes 1. 0 plus 1. I think we're doing off by 1 errors here. Because if min index is 1 before, if min index is 1 less than max index, we're never going to get any movement, which I think is what's happening here. Gotta love those off by 1 errors. Okay, it's the wrong answer, but you know, it runs now. Ah. Okay, so in this instance, we're comparing 7 to 5. And it's greater. So min index becomes 2. 2 plus 3 is 7. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5, which I think will round to 3. Which we'll compare, and then 7's still bigger than this. So min index becomes this. And this is still 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 plus 3 is 6, so it's still 3. But right, so that's why I'm outputting 3, but we want it to be 4 because it would be at the end of the list. So we can add 2 more cases, not even in the while loop. We can check if it's target is less than the first value or greater than the last value. So we'll add 2 more ifs before we even get into this loop. if nums min index is wait, my brain works this way. Target is less than, or I suppose equal to, nums min index. Then I want to return min index, else if target is greater than or equal to nums max index. Then I want to return max index. Otherwise, go find the index. This is where I'm going to find out that Dart doesn't allow multiple returns. Oh, why are you still wrong? Target is greater than or equal to nums max index. Should this not be getting caught by... Should this not be getting caught? Your reindeer has no head. It's a headless reindeer. I mean, that's appropriate for spooky season. Can I have headless reindeer? It's just a Nightmare Before Christmas design. One, two, three, 4 items, but max index is 3. What? Print target come on. What do you think is there? No, 6. Yeah. Oh. Off by 1 errors. I don't want to put it at max index. I want to put it at max index 1 beyond the maximum index. If I were to add it to the list, I'd want to put it 1 after. Ugh. Yeah, that was it. Wrong answer. Ugh. Nope. Then I don't want you to equal there. I don't want you to equal that. If you equal the last item, you want to return max index. But in this case, you want to return... Okay. Almost there. We're almost there. Yeah, there we go. We made it. I did okay. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, well, that's 2 languages done. So I feel like that's all right. 2-hour stream? 2-hour stream's all right. I want to flip scenes here for a second. I want to try shaking up the schedule a little bit. I'm thinking I'd like to try an evening coding stream on Friday nights. Don't know when exactly. So I'm thinking we'll just have kind of a short stream today. And then I'll come back later tonight. Yes, do send me your reindeer. I want to see your headless reindeer. I think I will come back later tonight around like 8, 9, something like that, and give an evening stream a try, because I want to see if that attracts a different audience. I also want to figure out why my multi-streaming isn't working, because that's irritating. It's very upsetting, because I may have spent a whole $6 on software that's supposed to make multi-streaming possible, and apparently multi-streaming is not happening, and it's very upsetting. So, why is okay? Oh, you're sending me your reindeer. Got it. Haha. That's goals. No, I don't want to run an ad. Raid channel. Oh, Critical Role is on right now. What are we feeling? Do we feel like a raid? I don't know. I don't feel like a raid. I don't wanna. He has a head now? Wait, okay. I gotta look. I gotta know. I wanna see. Oh, he's got a head now. That's good. It's a good reindeer. I wanted to see the headless reindeer. Nah, not today. Alright, I'm gonna wrap this up. Oh. And, yeah, I'll see about coming back later around 8 or 9. Do some more. 'Cause I'm hungry. My goodness, I'm so hungry. And I gotta go do stuff. Need to get the fingerless mitten charts done. They are the worst since each size is separate. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's too late. Yeah, I'm feeling like a later stream will attract an entirely different crowd. I don't know. We'll see. But you know, I've done the afternoon streams for about a month, and they're alright. So I want to see if doing an evening stream, just, you know, shake things up, find out what works. I'm still very much learning. Regular schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 p.m. Mondays and Fridays coding. Wednesday is gaming. I'm hoping to try out a new game next Wednesday. I wanted to try out Palia, which is a free MMO, cozy gaming kind of thing. And I tried to install it, and despite the fact that I told it to install on my D drive, it wants to put a bunch of stuff in the app data folder on my C drive, which does not have enough space, which is why I told the game to install itself on the D drive where there's tons of space. But it's still throwing crap in my C drive, so it can't install. It gets to like 98% and stalls because I have no space. It was extremely annoying. So I don't know if we are going to play Palia. If I can get it to work, we will. But otherwise it'll be more Paleo Pines, which is not a bad thing. But for the foreseeable future, Monday 2 p.m. will still be a coding stream, because I will have aerial dance class on Monday nights, so a Monday night stream is not going to happen. But I think tonight we'll try out an evening stream for coding and see where that takes us. Exclamation point socials in chat to get all my various socials. I have an Instagram and a TikTok and a Discord. I also have a YouTube that is absolutely not working right now. But VODs go up on the YouTube eventually. I'm still working on the YouTube part, but I have one. Yeah. So I'll see everybody later or on Monday. Yeah.